Welcome to WO50, Women Over 50 Embody Wisdom and Wellness.
Oh, and today we're going to talk about some of that embracing. So, my name is Corrine, and I'm here with my BFF, Eddi. And our topic today is embracing beauty beyond youth and navigating aging in a youth obsessed culture. This was really fun, really important conversation.
It is trying to discover what beauty means to us. Why are we so stuck with that certain message that was kind of drilled into us young? And what do we have to do moving forward? We touched a little bit on ageism and, the natural process of aging.
Yeah, yeah. And our own vulnerabilities, what Eddi and I personally find vulnerable as we're aging and what we're dealing with. Everybody deals with things in a different way, and really being honest with yourself and hitting it straight on so that you can enjoy this beautiful process of living on this planet a longer time. It can be beautiful. It is beautiful.
It's going to happen to us all.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
It's inevitable.
We hope you enjoy it.
Hello, Ken.
Hi. We're both about to head off. I'm only gone for 4 days. You're gone for 10?
Heading off to go do some skiing in Alberta.
Oh, so you're actually taking a flight.
Yes, 6-hour flight to leave Newfoundland and head that way. So,
Do you have a direct to Calgary?
It's a direct.
That is lovely. Is that your first time you've done direct to Calgary? Because they just started that flight, right?
They just started that back again. Yeah, they used to have it years ago, and it's back. Yeah, you used to have to fly from Newfoundland to Toronto or Montreal or even Halifax, and then on.
Yeah. It makes all the difference. It's like that flight that I take to London. Like, it's such a miracle that you can get right from Nashville to London. Like people.
I have my little tools with me. Oh, that just reminds me. I got my earbuds. You know how you do your mental list, and now I'm like, oh, I got to pack my essential oils, and oh, I need my spray, my vitamin C spray for my face because it'll keep my skin hydrated.
That's right, on the flight for 6 hours. That's right.
Yeah. Whether I pack that or not.
Because you're so beautiful. You're beautiful at any age. You are.
Well, beauty is within, it comes from within. You get more beautiful welcoming that beauty within.
Yeah. As we get older, we're like, it's almost like we're grounded in ourselves more. That confidence, that standing in your authentic self, that's a beauty in itself. And so really finding that in a beauty, youth obsessed culture. So the title of our talk today is Embracing Beauty Beyond Youth, because we do live in a youth obsessed culture. And as women over 50, and as we always mentioned, we've got listeners that are 30 and 40 too. And I had a father who loved young women and a mother who loved young men. And I myself also like young guys, but I also like guys my own age too. So it's like, it's how do you feel on the inside? And, I always share, it's like the reason why we feel ageless and why sometimes we look in the mirror and it's like it doesn't really match what we see as we get older, what we feel, like what we see in the mirror doesn't match what we feel. Because that timeless part of us is our soul, is that consciousness. It's that's unborn and never dies, that doesn't age. And that's really more of who we are than our personality and all that stuff. So even that is such a beautiful thing to be in touch with that as we get older, that timelessness within us.
I call that's the essence. I remember when we were taking pictures in Sicily, and we were the lighting. Corinne was so great with the lighting, right? And I'm like, that doesn't even look like me. Like, look how I look gray. And you're like, look, you got to get the sunshine because it brings out the essence of yourself in a photo. And I get it, because how many of us out there really take a picture and there's one you see yourself in, right? You look at it and you're like, I like that one. Okay, I'm going to go with that one. That's the look I like. My skin's shiny. I look healthy. My chin's not tripled. It's like,
the chin gets me, man. When I was saying this to Jocelyn the other day, I was looking in the close-up mirror to do my makeup, and my chin is like this, and I see this little flap down here, and I'm like, what the hell is this loose skin underneath my chin? And but then when I was saying that to Josh, and she goes, Corinne, I don't even see that. Like when you are looking at a person, you're looking into their eyes and their essence, and you don't see, we pick at ourselves so much more than other people do. And I had a young client here today who's like, she's very body shamed of herself, and she's young, she's beautiful. And she's like, if I'm naked coming out of the shower, my boyfriend happens to see me, I'm afraid that if I bend over, my stomach will look at bad. The guy isn't looking at that.
Yeah,
He's looking at how
exactly.
sexy the woman's body is, not what her belly is or isn't doing. But you,
That's
no matter
right.
how much you tell somebody that, you have to own it yourself. You have to deal with your demons inside. And we
Mm.
do happen to live in a time, I think that I think we've always probably worshipped beauty as youth as beauty, you know. We've always
Mhm.
done that probably, but now with social media and everybody having phones and stuff, and living on TVs and airbrushing and all that, it's gotten even worse. And so what we
Yes.
see as attractive on the screen is not what is realistic. Jamie Lee Curtis was the first one that started talking about that, remember, years ago.
I know I did those workshops with her, and she was talking about, you're not having a great body image day, maybe it's post Christmas, and you're not 65 years old. The first thing you're going to look at is your naked body in the shower. It's not going to be your first image of the day. It might be you look outside and you listen to the birds, or watch the kids playing out in the yard. And the mirror is not always the reflection, the true reflection back, because
No.
it all has to do with how you're feeling inside. And
Mm-hmm.
that our young kids, like our teenagers, are very obsessed. Social media has bought them. And if
Condition
you
them,
think about,
program them.
they really have. And because they're at a place in their lives where all they want to do is connect. They want to feel beautiful within, on the outside as well, and connect. And unfortunately, some of these connections that they're making are over products or lip balm, or have you got the most expensive, whatever whatever the label is. And that, I don't think that's not good. It's not
Yeah.
good. We have to do more, work around body image and what beauty is. Beauty, there's such a conditioning that's come along with what is beautiful to us. So if we start teaching, a certain body shape or a certain look, like we were brought up, what was beauty when you look at something? What did beauty mean? For me, it was a really fit, somebody really in shape, right? Really fit and exercised, and sometimes, that was to the extreme for me. That was, I had that little bit of that dysmorphia with body image as well. Oh, my belly pokes out, or we got skin we can pinch on our bellies and our hips and wiggly thighs, whatever it is, right? And as we get older, working on that falling away is really important. I still love fitness. I still love, you know, being in shape, but part of it is I love to exercise. I still love to have nice hair, right? We like to have nice shiny skin.
We do. But it's interesting though you say that, Eddie, because I don't think you've ever, I always know you like exercise, you like being fit, you are an athlete, but I didn't know that what beauty was to you when you were young was like a really fit body. Because my to me, what beauty was to me was my mom who wore makeup and had her hair perfectly and always said, don't leave the house without your makeup. And that's still how I am today. I've talked about it on the podcast before, how I wore eye makeup all through COVID, whether I was doing a Zoom or not, like even just for myself. The only time I didn't wear my makeup was when I had COVID, like for 4 days when I didn't have the energy. But you betcha, as soon as I had that energy, because that's how I feel good about myself, is that I didn't have makeup on the other morning when Jamina came over for a visit. She hadn't seen me without makeup in a long time. And she's like, "Wow, I haven't seen you without eye makeup in a long time. You look so good." And sometimes I feel like I actually do look younger without makeup, but if I leave it off for too long in the day,
Yeah, but
then
the only makeup yeah, but the only makeup you wear usually is
it's just my
mascara and
eyes.
eyeliner and your
Yeah.
lipstick. It's just
Yeah,
around
I
your
don't wear
eyes.
face makeup. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, the same. So, yeah, no, that's I would. love, what I admired on people was, and you might have heard me say this, when you see really nice arms on a woman, and they're the cut, like the muscle, the tricep and the shoulder is really, and I had little shoulders, like I'm a little like shoulder person. We laugh about this all the time because we pick at our body and our face and our, we're watching things, we're reading things, and we're comparing ourselves all the time. And now we're at a point in our lives where we go, I'm just accepting what I have, what I got. If I can improve upon it, excellent. Excellent. I know I have to eat well, but keeping my brain really sharp and my body, healthy, that's important. But I don't need the six pack abs. Oh my God. The amount of crunches I've done in my life. Oh my God. Like, really. Like, I remember my midwife saying to me after I birthed my child, who's now 30, and I had this home birth, which was very cool. And she comes back the next day and she goes, and she's checking the baby and me and everything, and we were awesome. And she goes, "Oh my God, like, you have abdominal muscles. You just had a baby." And I'm going, "Oh wow, that's really cool." You know, I go, "Okay." And I was like 30, going, "Okay, that's great." But I'm going, I worked really hard for those. And now
Yeah.
I'm like, well, it's really not that important
Yeah.
anymore. It's what we start to let go of, but to still be fit is still really important to me. Isn't that funny? Like, to still be, spinning and swimming and pickleballing, like, it's fun, but it's not at the level of, Iron Woman.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, to me, it's more, even if being fit, it's more about feeling good. Because to me, your body tells you how fit you are by how you feel. So it's interesting how we even frame it for ourselves. Like, so for you, it's like it's being fit. And for me, it's feeling healthy, like feeling, having energy and feeling good. And that's how our lives are. And it probably means very similar things, but it's to what's important to us individually. But I use I'm using, I try to use everything in my life as a spiritual practice. And so that's what I'm doing with aging now, with being 60. I've got, I mean, yes, we do look good for 60. People always say that. It's all,
Hmm.
it's lovely to hear. It's lovely that we've taken care of ourselves. We've got good genes, all of that. But it is inevitable, lines
Yep.
and wrinkles, and if people decide to do work, I have no judgment about that, you
Yep. You
know.
know, the thing about aging, nobody can escape it.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
It's
It's the
inevitable.
most natural thing there is on the planet.
Yeah.
And Colleen talks about it all the time, because it's like people we live in, like all the health people now are into this reversal of aging and stopping aging. Some of these guys are even saying they can stop age. And I'm like, who would want to live forever anyway?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
I
kind of
know.
excited to be on the other side of 50 and heading towards the freedom of death.
Do you know that something came into my head when you were talking, and then it left and it came back again now.
Okay.
So the whole thing about the beauty within, right? And what we're conditioned, or what we listen
Yeah.
to, like your mom, when your mom wore makeup and
Yep.
you saw that. Well, my mother never wore makeup. My mother still doesn't wear makeup.
Yep.
So, it was always a no makeup thing. And if you wore makeup, well, I remember watching my older sister, and, oh, get that lipstick off. And, it would be that kind of, get that off your face. That's a mess. Poor thing. And she looked so nice with her lipstick. And,
Yeah,
we're
she
trying
still does
to,
that. Yeah.
and she still does it. She ran a telly 10 with me, and wore lipstick crossing the finish line. It's my older sister. Putting it on, crossing the finish line.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the conditioning is, if you look at, so we have to change it, because we have to step up as older women. And there's the big buzzword now, ageism, right? The discrimination against
Right. Right.
men and
Hmm.
women getting older. Well, look at Disney. If you look at Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs,
Oh, the bad person is always the
who
older
was the
person.
who was the bad person, and what did she
Wow.
always look like?
Like an
Right?
old woman.
Like an old woman. baggy, saggy skin, bags under her eyes. She was always just evil. And that is drilled into us. Like,
Wow.
really? And who's the beautiful, kind? It's the young
Yeah.
princess.
Yeah.
So that message, I mean, that goes deep.
It's cellular, it's generational. It's been happening for thousands of years, not just
Yep.
hundreds, but thousands of years. It's in us. So it is a huge spiritual practice. Like it's a huge opportunity. And Eddie and I have been talking about doing a course on embracing aging for women.
Hmm.
And we hope to launch it before the end of 2024, don't you think?
Yes.
It'll
Yes.
be an online course, and we'll talk more about it as the months go on. But
Mhm.
because it's such a big deal. People are so affected by it. There's a lot of mental health issues. There's a lot of people overdoing the face work. Like I have no problem with work, especially if you're in the film business or whatever. It's part of
Mhm.
what you do. But there is a balance a bit, and there's some people that we all know that just look terrible because of all the work they've done, and they haven't looked after themselves, and they look like monsters a little bit. And
Well, there's
so
TV shows that take advantage of that, like
yeah,
Botched, like,
yeah,
and then
so
people
sad.
getting all these repairs done. Like, there is a subtleness about things like that, like some people just say they do Botox just a little bit
Yeah,
to, like it's whatever makes you happy,
yeah,
right? Because you're the one looking at you.
yeah,
Do it for you. Don't do it for other people. Because a
yeah,
lot of this, actresses and things like that, they have a whole other reason for doing it. They're on screen,
yeah.
they're looking at themselves like
Oh, and huge
360.
screen. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, like when like when you watch like the older women and the actresses, and they're still so beautiful in their
Oh, the one,
dresses and
yes.
their skin and in their like that's beautiful. That
Yeah,
we have to tell people they're beautiful no matter what age. You could be
yeah.
85 years old. I told my mother-in-law last night, she's 91. We had her over for dinner and a game of cards, and I said, "Your hair looks so good tonight and it's beautiful. Did you just have it done? You look really well today." And she goes, "Do I? Oh." And she just puffed right up, and I
Yeah.
said, "Now I should win the next round of cards for that one." But she did.
It's
Doesn't
great.
matter what age. She made an effort, right? And is not, and she goes, "Oh, I'm getting old and I'm getting," and we got to stop telling ourselves that.
Yeah. We
Oh,
are
people don't
aging.
even
It's
pay
gonna it's gonna
attention.
happen, but it's how you feel about yourself is really what it's all about, and what, and it's gonna happen anyway. So somehow making
Yep.
peace with it.
Yep.
And that's what our we've talked about in our course is just, for me, I find, like Julia Louise Dreyfus's podcast of Wiser Than Me. I like to find women that are older and wiser than me, and like almost like a mentor in how they're aging,
Yes.
and admire them for all their grace and their confidence and their wisdom. The women used to run like the native cultures, and even I heard Colleen told me that it's the founding fathers wrote,
Yes.
apparently it was the Native American women, the elders and the women who actually did a lot of that. They based it on a lot of that writing,
Mm.
um on the founding, fathers, based it on the female perspective.
Wow.
So yeah, so women were the wise ones, the elders in general, both men and women, but women specifically, in different indigenous cultures have been revered as the wise ones. Just because men are more, they're out hunting and stuff, and the women are the ones
Yes.
that are, you know,
And look
uh,
how beautiful, and look at what it's changed into. It's kind of morphed into now our younger generation has a phobia about aging. They're fighting it. It's a
well, they're
phobia.
getting face work at 30.
Oh, at 15, at
Mm,
20. Like I
mm.
hear kids talk about, oh, if I get a wrinkle, I'm getting that taken care of. Well, what's bad? What's bad about a wrinkle? Why don't you be happy with that wrinkle? Why don't we change the story around that wrinkle? When did that wrinkle come, I wonder?
Yeah, what like I've lived 60 years on this planet, and there's fucking gravity. There's
Yeah.
gravity. That's why
Yeah.
my skin is sagging a little bit. It's amazing that this body has lasted. It's still digesting food, not quite as well as it did when I was 20, but it's still digesting food and still my immune system is still working after 60 years on the planet and some of the
I
abuse that I
know.
did when I was younger. Like it's a miracle.
It is. It's an absolute miracle that our trillions of cells can repair themselves, that the body has this innate ability to heal itself. Our mind, why are we thinking those thoughts? Like that's why we're going to do this course really is work on those thoughts because once we change the thoughts about aging and embrace it, then we start doing the things and applying the lifestyle skills and just in simpler terms. So we're not grasping at straws, for answers or what's the quick fix thing. Or, I mean, for goodness sake, we have to start really embracing everything.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
because it's inevitable. Otherwise, you'll suffer. Like every time, like my mom is fortunately a very happy, positive person. But I FaceTime her, a couple times a week. And every single time I FaceTime her, she's like, "Oh, I don't look very good." That's the
Yeah.
first thing she said. I'm like, "Mom, you're looking at me, not
Yeah.
you." She was, "Yeah, but," I said, "Aren't you on the corner?" "Yeah, but I can still see myself." It's
Yeah.
like, and she's so focused. And she had some face work done in her 50s, I think it was. And so now, she looks amazing for 84, but she had work done, and now she's looking older because she's 84 and she hasn't,
Yeah. But
doing.
look how happy she is when we talk to her on FaceTime because I'm like, my gosh, you look so good. And she goes, I
She's
still don't color my hair.
Yeah,
And it's brown.
it's
And
brown.
she's
Yeah, she's the
84.
only brown-haired woman in the retirement home. And
Yeah.
everybody thinks she colors her hair now that she actually has some silver coming in. Only if you look really closely can you see it. It's just I've
Yes.
got more silver hair than she does.
My daughter curled my hair yesterday and she said, Mom, do you know? Because we're getting ready to travel and I don't want to mess with it for days. I mean, this will last a week.
Yeah, we did
So
it before we went to Italy too. It's such a
I know
treat.
it's great.
Yeah.
And she curled it and she goes, Mom, you're so lucky. Like your gray is, you're just starting to get it, but it's peppered throughout your whole head. Like you're so lucky. And she goes, why don't you have it all coming in gray? I would love it if I want my hair to all come in really gray early. And I'm going, you're kidding me. She goes, yeah. I said, well, she said, hopefully I don't get that gene that yours is coming in
She wants it
peppered.
all silver. That's funny. Yeah, it's interesting how, some people let themselves go silver when they're 30. I've got a
I
really good friend of
know.
mine, Linda, who
Yeah.
started getting, we both know her. She started going silver in her 20s. Now she's 55 or something. And
Hmm.
her hair is amazing and gorgeous and it suits her. She looks amazing. You and I have chosen not to let we're still coloring our hair. I've been
Hmm.
coloring my hair since I was 13. And at
Yeah.
Bev, our hairdresser, she's like, "No, no, Petal, you're not ready to go gray yet." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I honor women who do it. Our friend Irene has her
I do
silver
too.
hair girl rocking, and it's all good. You have to do what's good for you. And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah.
have to find out what's good for you and what your reasons are. We've always loved our Bev, our hairdresser. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's no just, your definition of beauty or, what we choose to pick for ourselves, it's up to you. That's your individual choice, right?
Yeah.
That's your choice to pick whether it's, we pay $100 for vitamin C cream or $10 for vitamin C. Like it's important to us. The food we eat, it's important. The
Yeah.
quality of the food is important to me. What I
Because
fuel
we
my
feel,
body with.
yeah, because
Yeah.
you feel it. Like for
Yeah.
you, you've been so sensitive. I mean, being in your body, man, you are so sensitive and you've always been so sensitive. So
Hmm.
that's why you're so disciplined with your eating. Like I always say when with you, I feel so much better because I eat even better when I'm around you. And because you've had to, because you will get sick
Yeah.
if you
I don't
don't.
I don't feel well. I have to eat well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do.
I
Your
have to eat
belly's
well.
sensitive, your sinuses are sensitive, like all of it,
Not
right?
anymore. They were, but if I veer off my, eating plan, like if I don't digest dairy. So and there's a lot of people in the world who are lactose intolerant that
Yeah.
do not do well with dairy and get a lot of mucus and phlegm and when your belly doesn't feel good, nothing feels good. You're
Yeah.
not you're just not yourself, right?
No,
Even if
don't have
even if you're the
energy.
most gorgeous person on the planet, if you feel all bloaty and puffy and icky, that's what's going to look back at you.
Yeah, you don't feel beautiful in that case.
No.
Because I know plenty of gorgeous people that when they feel like crap, they don't feel very beautiful. So it
Yeah,
truly is beauty is comes from the inside, but everybody has their own demon and their own with it. And you have to, we live in
absolutely.
this culture that this is a fact. We do worship youth.
Yep.
And so what are you going to do about it as you're aging? Are you the kind of person that don't relate to this conversation at all and you're perfectly fine with everything about aging? Or are you, I don't, haven't met anybody like that. Like if you are that kind of person, please let us know. Or I'm using it as a spiritual practice and noticing, I had one, I had mentioned months ago when Jamina had that party where there was a bunch of women of all different ages talking. And I started talking about, because that was before I was turning 60. And my friend Michelle, who's I think in her late 50s and she's got silver hair and she's like, I'm loving it because she said, I actually feel safe now for the first time in my life because I feel more anonymous and nobody's looking at me and poking at me or chasing me. And I feel much more safe, like walking at night and stuff. She's like, I feel like people aren't paying attention to me. I was like, wow,
Oh, wow.
okay. That's a
Yeah,
perspective.
that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we also, I think, changing the way we, I don't know, like stereotypes, right, of older people. That's changing
Yeah.
because
Oh, yeah.
it's not the typical, they're your little geezer or that's not really nice. Those again, that's,
Ageism.
discrimination.
Yeah.
So right away, post 50, because that's who we are, W050, right away, every single person has the opportunity to portray themselves in a positive light. So
Yeah.
when you do that, you're changing how someone's mirroring back to you. Because if your head's held high, you feel good, your hair's done, you've got whatever you do to yourself, whether you do your eyebrows or put your mascara on or just lipstick, or you wear fun glasses, or everybody's got something unique about themselves. Raise the bar on that. Like, bring the positive to it. Like,
Yeah.
that's how we're going to change it.
Yeah. Yeah. And kindness is like there's so many other qualities than just how we look. And a person looks different. We've talked about this many times on the podcast, how people look different once you get to know them and they can either become more attractive or less attractive. I was in the post office. There was a line this afternoon and this woman walked in. She was probably in her late 50s or so, maybe 60s, walked in behind me and we just kind of looked at each other and acknowledged each other's and kind of smiled. And there's three or four people ahead of us. And then this guy went up to the counter and the postman said, "You've got to address this." And he said, my eyes don't work very well. My eyes aren't very good. And he was trying to get the postman to write it to do the label. And he said,
Mhm.
just step right over there and, and here's a pen for you. And the woman behind me said, come over here. I'll address it for you. I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, I didn't, that's so sweet. And her
Yeah.
whole everything changed, like, and the whole post office vibe changed. And so she did the addressing. Another guy came in and tried to kind of go ahead. And she goes, no, I'm still in line. And then after she was done, I let him go ahead of me because he was ahead of me.
Mhm.
And it was all and he was so grateful. And it
Mhm.
was just such a sweet interaction. And those types of things are so much more important
Yeah.
than what we look like,
Yeah.
you know
They are.
but you again you have to find that for yourself,
Mhm.
like it's inquiring what if you have any issues with about your aging body or face, or anything around that, what is it, and look at it square in the eye and ask if it's true,
Mhm.
and why is it true, what belief system do I have to hold in order for that to stay true.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be as an important a person. People won't respect me. Well, is that
Mhm.
true? Do you
Mhm.
know that's some Byron Katie stuff? Do you know that that's true?
Yeah.
And really questioning it and finding that confidence and that beauty within yourself. And we're all different. It's all our own journey.
That's right. I wrote down, when we decided to do this talk, I always write a couple of things down that I remember those were said at some point. And I love this one. It says, aging is not lost youth, but a new stage of opportunity and strength.
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not lost youth. We have never lost it. We have been like, remember that? I think you sent me
I
something now. This
did.
is coming in. We're always that Jennifer Aniston
But it was
posted.
a poem. I actually took the poem. She
Yeah,
posted it because she was turning, I think, 58 or 59. And she posted this poem, and actually, I'll post it in the link below because it's a beautiful poem
it's
about
beautiful.
when you turn a new age, you don't lose what you have before. You're just adding to what you have.
Yes.
So you're adding to your youth.
And I love that you all always have that age. You will always, even, I love that this just came into my head. So much stuff comes into my head. Oh God, if it was a smart
That head.
board, it would be lit up back there. But it's like the questions you ask yourself at 30, ask them again at 40, at 50, at 60, the answers will be different.
Yeah.
A lot of times they're different. We go, oh, this will never happen because, and then boom, don't give up on those questions because we've lived these lives. We've been, it's not lost. We've
Yeah.
been there, they're still in us.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Yeah.
We can go in our memory and grab at any time. Like I was sharing something with Strat the other day about the time you had your 34th birthday, and I came with the birthday cake with the big candle with 34 on the top. And, and Corinne was trying to impress this 20 something year
This
old
young
guy.
chap, the waiter.
Yeah, and
And I
he
was
had
like,
no idea. And
why
he
is the
thought she was 20 something, right? And she's like, what are you doing with my
the
age on the
big
cake?
number on the taking up the whole cake? Why would you do that?
I thought it was really cool. Great big numbers.
Huge, huge.
I remember they probably looked even bigger then, right? Yeah. And now we look back on it and we laugh and go, "Oh,
Laugh.
what that was what? That's not a big deal.
And the
Not a
young
big deal."
chap didn't care anyway.
No, but
He
I've gone through that feeling of, "Oh my God, I'm getting older. I'm getting older," and that that film that keeps playing in, our mind, I just go, well, this is how it is. So I keep repeating
Yeah.
the positive things over and over, what's
Yeah.
good about it, and embracing opportunities and the strengths that come with it, and keeping, the brain fed and fueled and learning, and all the
Mhm.
tips we've shared on other podcasts, right?
Mhm.
Just get out of that rabbit hole as quick as you can, because
Mhm.
we can get sucked into it, read something, and then we go,
Mhm.
oh my God, oh, or we might have a bad day.
Mhm.
And next, there's a new wrinkle, or there's a flippant age spot, or God forbid, something's got to be cut off our skin. Well, that's
Lots of
great.
that.
We have the science now to, my goodness, treat skin cancers, and we got to stay on top of that kind of stuff. So it's not an ugly scar anymore. It becomes, wow, I'm so glad I caught that. Like, that's the kind of language we
Yeah.
I think. Anyway, for me anyway, and I think it
Yeah,
might be
no,
help.
I think that's a beautiful point because the thing is that our thoughts are running like a virus, or can run like a virus in the back of our minds all day, running and sort of it's like they modulate in an unconscious way our moods. And
Mhm,
but once you become more aware and conscious and realize you're the listener of your thoughts, you're not your thoughts, you're the one who's listening to your thoughts. So you don't have any control of the random thoughts that come into your head throughout the day and years and throughout the day, but you have control over what you decide to believe and what you really and follow. And so really that's what becoming a conscious aware human is about, is knowing that you're the listener of your thoughts, you are not your thoughts.
mhm. That's right. This body and this visual is, it's our carriage. It's carting us around. Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So doing
We are not
inquiry,
our thoughts.
questioning what are your fears, like, for me, because I was listening to a podcast the other day, it talked about the importance of vulnerability and communication. And and they said, when you say something vulnerable, people lean in because they want to listen to it. So I will share a couple of my fears with aging are things that I think about. First of all, when I sleep at night, because I sleep on my side, sometimes I'll have and I'll feel my lines on my face. I'm like, oh, those were not here 6 months ago. And I'll be like, "Oh, no." And then, dealing with that, like, being really honest, like, what does that mean? And then it's like, "Well, that doesn't look so bad. You can't," but that's it. That's how it starts to happen. It's really phenomenal. It's kinda like a peach
Yeah,
that ages, it's like fruit
yeah,
ages. It's all a very natural thing. So that's one thing. And I think the biggest one for me, because and I've talked about this before, because my dad dated younger women, my mom did, and I have in the past. And because I'm single, I think it's like continuing to be what I think is attractive to the opposite sex kind of thing, and that was very much my mom's thing too, right? And looking at that and being comfortable with the age that I am, and, yeah, just facing that every day and knowing that that's one of my vulnerabilities.
yeah, yeah. I remember Jane Fonda said, I love listening to her, that she spent way too much time investing in appearing beautiful to men and
Yeah,
forgot about that just her girlfriends accepted her the way she was.
no
She didn't
matter
have to do
what.
anything to impress that, it
Nothing.
was yeah. And
And I Go ahead.
because it was idolizing, she felt men idolize beauty and youth and she strived for that. And like when I think about her saying that, I think about like aging is if we look at it, it's the state of getting older. That's all it is, right? It's we're getting older. So what's so negative about that? We've been aging since we were born.
Yeah,
We'll age until death, right?
yeah,
So yeah, for me, the vulnerability around it is um just I'm my physical body. So staying, strong and um not being weak in my body and mind. And so I just have adopted now an attitude of gratitude, really, to be really thankful and for my body, but not to push it. And when I do start pushing it, like, because I know, okay, I know I can run that amount and I know I can, I kind of hold back, especially if my body gives me a symptom, like, you know, oh, my hip is not off today, or, I'm lucky I don't have a lot of pain, but, pain I always used to fear that having pain and not being able to take care of myself. So I really invest in a healthy lifestyle. But accidents happen and things happen, right? So I've really just let go and living in a way now of just it's day to day and really investing in my mind and body without putting extra on myself. You know what I
mhm,
mean?
yeah,
To go,
yeah,
"Ooh, I got to do this and I have to, run 10 miles or I got to do the telly next year. I got to, there's no forward going fast forward to plan events. It's more, wow, I'm so lucky I played, 2 or 3 games of pickleball this week. I want to play 6 games, right? But my body doesn't.
yeah,
And I'm okay with that.
yeah,
Because if when I do, oh, wrists start to ache. Right now, I don't want to have to put the braces on. A lot of people are putting braces
yeah.
on to play six
So
times a
they're
week, right?
pushing themselves too much.
Some
Yeah,
people are.
yeah.
But you just got to own it within yourself what it is you're um facing our fears, facing our vulnerabilities, making sure
Being
we're doing our part to, not just give up. I mean, motion is lotion, as we say.
Yeah. Yeah, and that happens to people too, is they'll stop exercising because they don't have as much energy. It's harder to get up the stairs. That's the first thing, even young people, when you injure yourself or something is sore,
Absolutely.
you stop moving it. But as Eddie just said, motion is lotion. You got to keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I people are surprised when I didn't have I didn't have a cast on my broken arm, and I also didn't have a thing to keep it, close,
Sling.
whatever it's ca
A
yeah, a what?
sling.
A
A
sling. I
sling.
didn't have a
Yeah.
sling because I knew my body would tell me. what it could and couldn't do. And I wanted, as soon as it was well enough, I wanted to start moving it and healing and stuff.
Yeah, plus that was smart because you don't want to get frozen shoulder. Just
Yeah.
not be afraid to move it, right? We
Yep.
got to allow the body to heal. And when you know your body, that's incredible, right?
Yeah.
So we're not putting down anything that people are doing, whether it's Botox or lip injections or butt injections, whatever, but just question why you're doing it. Is it for you? Is it for so someone else will see you as beautiful, or what is beauty to you?
Yeah.
Question just that, the answer's always within the inquiry, in the
Yes, it is,
silence.
Eddie. That's right. Beautiful. That's a great way to wrap it up. Thank you for surmising that so, so eloquently. That was really beautiful. You're amazing. I love you.
So are you. You're amazing too.
Eddie gives me
Everyone's amazing.
confidence. Eddie
Yeah,
gives me
we give each other
confidence.
confidence. We're like, people go, are you sisters? Are you guys twins? We were like, yeah, we were,
In another
but
life, we were twins, or maybe we were in this
definitely,
life too. Who knows? In my mother's
maybe.
womb when my
We
twin
don't know.
miscarried.
Who
We don't
knows?
know.
But we're very happy we met. We've learned a lot from each other over the years. We're blessed to have almost, almost 40 years
Friendship. Yeah.
friendship, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
And our our work or our challenges and our love and all that for each other is to bring out the best in each other.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Even if I go, does this eyeliner look good on me? She says, no. And then I go, that eyeliner doesn't look good on you. It looked better on me. And
Yeah.
so then,
Because that's when I know she wants something. That top
and then
doesn't
she
look
goes,
good on you,
yeah,
Corinne.
yeah, no, it's fun. And what we do to each other, hey?
Well, we've
So
had a lot of laughs.
we have, and we've really supported each other in our growth over the years here. And, it's great to still be talking about it and helping each other through it because the thoughts come in our heads about aging and being there for each other and having connection with friendships is so important.
Yeah.
So important.
Yeah, absolutely. Feeding your mind and your brain and your body well, and also your emotions, your emotional health, and have your girlfriends. Yeah.
And your true girlfriends will tell you the truth. They will be honest. And sometimes we don't want true honesty, but you know what? In the long run, it's better.
It is better, exactly, because we can fool ourselves sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Until next week. Be happy.
Be authentic.
Be
Beautiful.
joyful. Be beautiful. Be joyful in your process of finding your authentic self.
Yeah, and just like your own company.
Yeah. Ooh, end on that one. Nice.